guys, welcome to Make TV. Thank you for joining me today on Your Opinion with Lovely Kerry. Thank you so much for your subscription, and I would like that you subscribe if this is what you like. Today, I'll be talking about red flags in relationship. What are red flags? Course, everybody likes to be loved, and it's sweeter when you love someone and they also reciprocate your love. Love is a sweet thing. Of course, it has sweet effects on our psychology to be loved and also receive loved, right? Your dopamine level is increased, and that does so much good to your health. However, as much as we all like to be loved and be loved, want to remain in relationships that will last. When talking about relationship, I'm not only referring to relationships that we end in marriage. I'm talking about long-term both with friends as well, with colleagues, and even with families, right? Whether a moral relationship or just platonic relationship, you need to know that there are red flags you need to look out to. Some of the problems that develop in a relationship later are things that have been there and are usually ignored. They don't just start one day. What do I mean by red flags? Red flags are danger signs in a relationship. When they start earlier, people don't seem to take cognizance of these red flags. They seem to ignore them, but they are there. That doesn't deny the fact that these danger signs are there. So this is a tag used to describe danger signs in a relationship. We call them red flags. Want to know what red flags are and how to avoid them? It's many times you wonder how a sweet relationship suddenly turns sour between husband and wife, between girlfriend and boyfriend, between friends, between members of a caucus and a church. How did this relationship turn sour? So I want to be dishing out right now the red flags you should watch out for in a relationship. The red flags you should watch out for in a relationship. All right, this is the first one I want to tell you today is gaslighting. What is gaslighting? When someone always makes you feel condemned. When someone always makes you feel you are the one responsible for what is happening. When somebody makes you to be the guilty one in a relationship, no matter the level of relationship or how long you've been with that person, consider this as a danger sign. When you're always the one being blamed for what is happening or for anything that is bad in a relationship, watch out for this. Quickly, I'll get to the second one. The second one is jealousy. Jealousy is another red flag that should be watched out for in a relationship. While it's normal for one to be jealous in a relationship, but when a partner gets angry when you spend time with your friends and loved one, is a red flag to watch out for. These kind of people can become overly aggressive or tend to fight. It is normal to be jealous in a relationship, but when it becomes overly expressed, it is a red flag that should be watched out for in a relationship. That's why at the end of the day, you can see a guy just because he sees a text message on the girl's phone, he can decide to go and kill or even kill the girl. It happens. Right? Okay? Let's move on to the next red flag you should watch out for in a relationship so that you don't become a victim of a toxic relationship. These red flags are the signs of a toxic relationship. So you need to take note of these red flags so you don't become a victim of toxic relationship. Right? Let's go on to the next We have controlling behavior and overly controlling behavior. Yeah, well, it's okay that when you have someone in your life, somehow they can influence your life. Both of you can compromise on certain things. But when your partner controls your life, everything you do, wants you to do everything they want at all time, that is not right. You should have the mind of your own in a relationship. You should have a say, your danger notwithstanding. So take note of this. When your partner is overly controlling what you eat, what you wear, just want you, this is exactly what he wants you to do. You must do what he does. That is not right. It's a red flag you need to watch out for. Another thing you need to watch out for is low self-esteem. If you are having low self-esteem in that marriage, if somehow the other person is making you to look down on yourself, maybe because they have some particular qualities you don't have, or there are some particular qualities they want you to have that you don't have, is a red flag. Someone you're falling in love with, or someone who is your friend, has to be ready to accept you just the way you are. So if that's not there, please, it's time to say goodbye to such relationship. So let's move on to the next red flag you need to watch out for, and that is lack of trust. If your other partner doesn't trust you, or shows expression of lack of trust for you, you should consider that a red flag. If you also cannot trust them, if they say good morning and you have to check the time, that means something is wrong. If you have to go and research over what they are telling you, then something is wrong. You have to consider taking a reverse, go back again and rethink if you're going to continue in that relationship, because that relationship may end up being toxic, because people will not change. Someone who has been doing that will not change. You can't change anyone. They will only become an improved version of themselves when they become familiar and comfortable with you. Then another reason, or another red flag you should look out for, is substance abuse. Someone who takes hard drugs, marijuana, cocaine. Of course, the fact that a person takes this substance abuse means they have a psychological problem. They have a mental problem that you're trying to suppress with these substances. So you should reconsider this if you have a partner who is into substance abuse. It's only a time bomb. It will blow. It will explode. It will explode. So don't let anything cover your eyes. If you have anybody you're in a relationship with, a friend who uses substance, then you have to be careful about such person. Then let's move forward. Narcissism is something you should be careful about. Who is a narcissist? Narcissist is someone who is overly egoistic. Everything must center around them, and if you are not doing what they want, they can fight you. They can become violent with you. These are the people we call narcissists. A lot of women today are suffering from the kind of people we call narcissists. So when you see this kind of sign, this kind of signal is unhealthy for a relationship, you have to reconsider, right? And the next is anger. You are someone who cannot control his anger or temper. Someone who is hot-tempered, who has uncontrolled anger. Usually, these people, when they are angered, they seems to overreact. They can even kill. It's after perpetrating whatever evil they have done through anger that they tend to realize what they have done. They will have killed, they will have maimed before realizing what they have done. So if you have someone who has a soft temper, you should consider relaxing first and watch them rehabilitate. Help them to seek help before getting into any deep with them is a dangerous sign. We call that red flag. Then I also want you to look at physical emotional or mental abuse, because this is glaring at all. If a man abuses you physically, that is, hits you or beats you, if a man abuses you emotionally, it can be raping, it can be talking down on you, at you, it can be not giving you the right emotional support you need, insulting you, taunting you, or let's say someone who doesn't give you attention, somebody you have to beg for his attention. You have to consider that are red flags. These things will pull you down, it will make you a shadow of yourself. Don't manage this kind of relationship. You have to take a reverse on this kind of a relationship. Okay, one more thing I want to talk about today. There is a red flags to look out for in a relationship in order to avoid a toxic relationship is codependency. When two people are just not independent of themselves. They rely on themselves for everything. When none of them can be independent, is a serious issue. It's a serious issue when each party emotionally, otherwise, cannot do without each other. They can't stay away from each other. This is called, for me, I see this as obsession. They're obsessed with each other. Is a serious problem. Each party should be independent. Each party should learn to be independent. Know that they have a friend before they had you. They had families. They have families, people they were with. They can decide to do something sometimes without you. So you need to accept that if a person cannot do certain things without you is a problem, because a time will come that some certain things will take you away, certain things we have due to illness, traveling, or all that. They can cause the other person to have some psychological problems, and that is going to be a problem that will boomerang. So you need to watch out for this. Lastly, on red flags, there are many of them, but I think these are the major ones I'm discussing with you today. If your partner doesn't want to relate with your family, it's another red flag. It's a serious one. How can somebody love you and will not like your people and will not like you to relate with your family? Is a serious issue you need to watch out for. Now we talked about different kind of red flags. We talked about jealousy, gaslighting, anger, and narcissism, physical, emotional abuse, lack of trust, low self-esteem, and of course, a kind of overly controlling behavior. This kind of thing. So, how do you approach this kind of situation? Of course, I didn't tell you that there are other softer red flags. They are not as red, though. They are not as red, okay? They are not that red, but they are also things you can consider, things you can communicate, and things you can watch for to change. Because as we grow, no one is perfect. We all have to communicate and learn to improve on ourselves. And this is someone who doesn't communicate. Someone who doesn't communicate, and someone who always wants to have everything to himself. A greedy nature. Somebody who is greedy, someone who will never keep to time, as that's as that to do with dating relationship. Somebody who will never keep to time, somebody who doesn't keep to their words, and someone who doesn't communicate consistently. You have to watch out for these lesser, will I call them, what kind of flags do I call them now? There's not as red as flags. Okay, on the football field, I think we have the yellow flag and also we have the red flag. The yellow flag is kind of warning signs, right? While red flags, whoo, is actually dangerous, you're out of the game. So I think I'll right to use the yellow flag for these lesser flags that I talked about that you need to watch out for. Okay, how do I do? If I am seeing this kind of red flags, what do I do? How do I approach it? First, let me talk about that of yellow flags. Yellow flags, okay, they are lesser and there are things that you can still manage. Nobody is perfect. We all behave and relate based on our background and exposure. Some people only need communication. Just communicate, speak your mind, be honest, say what you want and how you like it. There may be changes there, but if there are no changes, they become a red flag. So, how do you approach a relationship when you start to see these red flags? You have to be apt. Then open your mind. Don't be sentimental. Don't be sentimental. This has to be approached tactfully. It has to be approached tactfully. You need to ask questions. Know why they are behaving the way they do. Some people actually behave that way because of a previous abuse, because of the hard times they are having. You need to watch out for that. There are people who really can manage their emotions when they have problems. You need to watch out for a person like that. You may need to refer them to a therapist to help them. So when you are seeing red flags in a relationship, I say what you do, you have to approach it tactfully. You need to ask questions, know why they are doing what they are doing. And next to it is you have to set boundaries. Set boundaries. When you start feeling this kind of thing, set boundaries between you and that person. Let them know areas they can get to. Give them that arm's length. Give them that arm's length while you watch them. While you watch them, watch if there is any change at all. Most times they don't change anyway, but you have to give them that longer to see if they are going to change. So after setting your boundaries, putting them at arm's length, you're not seeing any changes. Man, what's the last thing to do? The last thing to do is leave. Leave that relationship. It may look sweet now while you're trying to manage the red flags, but it's a time bomb, like I said. It's going to boomerang. So don't wait until it starts to beat you. Don't wait until it starts to cheat on you. Don't wait until it starts to talk you down emotionally. Don't wait till the relationship becomes toxic. You can do something now. It's not a do or die affair. There's somebody there who will make you happy. Remember, it's not everybody you meet that will have a long-lasting friendship with you. Some people are only meant to be in your life for a while. Some people are only meant to be in your life on occasion. Then some people came into your life for a purpose. They came for a purpose. And when that purpose is achieved, they leave. Some are there to exploit you, even though they may look like good friends to you. So you need to watch for these red flags to help you prevent a toxic relationship. I told you the last resort is you have to leave. No matter the feelings you have about them, you have to drop them to save your whole life. Leave. Watch out for red flags and leave a relationship that you are foreseeing that will be toxic. It's better to live and remain alive with your full bone and not be maimed. A lot have been maimed and have died just because they saw these red flags and continue. It's not worth giving your life for. There is somebody for you. There is somebody who will love you the way you want to be loved. There is somebody out there who can respect you. So because of loneliness, do not just get into a relationship because you are lonely. Don't get into relationships because you are lonely. Get into purposeful relationship. Then keep working on yourself so that you can attract the kind of people that fit into your life. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and also thank you for subscribing to this channel. I hope to see you again next time. My name is Lovely Carey. Thank you so much.